Okay, Robert Reynolds, Marrett. Okay, so today we'll discuss R.R. Marrett on religion, and he is given the concept of animism. He has given the concept of animism. So let's now move beyond Edward Bernard Taylor and examine a critical. You want me to switch on the AC? Okay. Okay. So we need to have critical refinement introduced by R.R. Marrett, often seen as a bridge between intellectual and emotional approaches. Okay. So his theory is bridging between emotional and intellectual approach. Okay, this is what they are doing. Okay, Marrett definitely critique. He has criticized the work of Taylor's that he is being overly rational. Okay, so Robert R.R. Marrett provide us a critique. Okay, he is providing the critique to the work of Edward Bernard Taylor. Okay, and what he is arguing that Taylor is being overly rational. Okay, too much of rationalism is bringing. Okay, and proposes that religion did not begin with thinking but with feeling. What's the difference? For Taylor, religion begins with thinking, but for Marrett, it begins with feeling. Now, Marrett introduces this concept. Okay, do understand this? Marrett introduces the concept of animism. You can also call it is pre-animism. Okay, मैरिट ने ये कॉन्सेप्ट जो इंट्रोड्यूस किया दैट इज एनिमेटिज्म you can also call this concept as pre-animism. Okay, now those who are listening to me very first time, you people have to follow my previous lecture on animism. Okay, then you will understand. Now you need to, yeah, yes, animism, believe in spirit. Animatism, supernatural force. So Marrett is arguing that how come religion can evolve from rational thinking, why it is cognitive in nature? R.R. Marrett is saying that Edward Bernard is being overly rational in explaining a phenomena or a very emotional event that is religion. So you need to know the difference between animism and animatism. Now animism we have discussed so much yesterday. There is a belief in spirits. Unlike animism, okay, you can write down. Unlike animism, that is belief in spirits, that is belief in spirits, animatism refers Animism refers to belief in impersonal write down diffuse supernatural force. This force is not individualistic. Okay, you do have this clarity. Okay, keep making your notes. I will explain it more. So this force is not individualistic in nature. You know, it's not individualized like spirits or God. Okay, so this force is not individualized. Okay, this force is not individualized like spirits or gods or gods. Rather, it is vague. Rather, it is vague, formless, and pervasive. Okay, now you people can write down examples which he has explained, and then I will explain it more deeper. Okay. Now the example, do write down mana. It's a Melanesian term. Mana. Okay, Melanesia. A supernatural power a supernatural power present in objects present in objects or persons. Then you can use like Orenda, that is Iroquois. Different example, it's like Orenda in Iroquois. Okay, and then Manito. The tribe name is Algonquin. Algonquin tribe. Okay. So according to Marrett, early religion was not about souls or spirits. Just a moment. But about experiencing a mysterious power in the world. Okay, please write down. Here you can write down the two lines. Thus, comma, early religion was not about souls or spirits, but about experiencing a mysterious power in the world. written. Every religion was so early religion was not about soul or spirit, but about experiencing a mysterious power in the world, which he described as feeling. Okay, so religion, he has explained religion as emotion, not just intellect. Okay, so what we need to know that Marrett has explained religion, okay, as emotion, not as, not just as, not just intellect, basically, not just intellect. So primitive religion is not so much thought out as danced out. Marrett famously argued. Okay, write down, this is a quote. Marrett famously argued. Marrett famously argued, primitive religion is not so much thought out as danced out. And this is a powerful critique of Taylor. Okay? Okay, let me just write down. So he has famously said that the primitive religion is not so much thought out. Primitive religion is not so much thought. Is not so much thought out as danced out. Okay. Now you can write down this. This is a powerful critique of Taylor. So for Marrett, religion originates in awe, fear, wonder, and emotional responses. So for Marrett, religion originates in awe, fear, okay, wonder, and emotional responses. It is a pre-logical, not fully rational. And not fully rational. What can be the key idea? Write down. Key idea, ye yaad rakhna. What is trying to argue? Now the key idea is early humans did not first think, they believe. Okay? Just understand this, okay? Early humans did not first think, did not first think, okay? Then believe. Rather feel, but rather feel. then conceptualized. Okay, do write on this, then conceptualize. The concept of awe and the sacred. ये एक heading डालिए, and then I will explain it more. The concept of awe, A-W-E, awe and the sacred. The concept of awe and sacred. Just a moment. ओके नाउ राइट, अभी समझ लिया. अभी हम एक कॉन्सेप्ट समझेंगे, ओ एंड सीक्रेट. ओके, Marrett emphasizes the feeling of awe towards the supernatural. Okay, write down. Marrett emphasizes the feeling of awe, like that awe feeling where you feel some emotions, uncontrolled emotions. Okay, so Marrett emphasize the feeling of awe. Okay, towards the supernatural. Toward the supernatural. The awe arises in encounters with nature. So this awe arises in encounters with nature. Can you just go out and tell the students to be quiet, please? This awe arises in encounters with nature, death, with nature, death, or extraordinary events. Okay, extraordinary event. It produces taboo. It produces taboo, reverence, and ritual behavior. Events. So here religion begins as a response. Do write down this point, okay? Here religion begins as a response to the mysterious and uncontrollable. And uncontrollable, comma, not as an explanation. Keep making this note. These notes are original, okay? It is there in your notes, the PPTs, okay? But समझना है easy language में, okay? So this is what you people have to first of all understand, have clarity, super duper clarity on this, okay? Bernard Taylor is simply explaining this point that religion has evolved from one stage to another stage, the way our cognitive development happened of our ancestors. So he's given the concept of animism, then polytheism, right? Then monotheism, then science, okay? Now he is saying that as if everything was about intellect. Marrett is saying, why do we have to become so rational in it? Religion is about feeling. You know, if you are, you just, and for me, it makes sense. It is all about feelings, you know, my connection with God, right? If somebody is dying, I do not know, I will feel. I'm not going to rationalize it. Okay, so it is the opinion. We just have to understand. Marriage is saying that, you know, it's a feeling. Religion has evolved from a feeling that, you know, something is happening bad. So there is a supernatural quality or power it will protect. I mean, I personally also believe in this. You all must have, you know, understanding on this. I have no problems with those who manipulate, who do, you know, who does wrong with me. I have a firm belief. You do wrong with me, God will give you a chapter on it. And I am realizing that the more I am graying, the more I am aging, the result I can see so quickly. You know, you say something wrong to me here, and within some days I will come to know that, okay, that person is suffering a lot. Karma. So what Marrett is saying, it is making sense to me as well in today's time. I believe that you know, my daughter often says that, Mom, you are very blessed. God loves you a lot. You say something, you cry one day, and then you are then praying God that, you know, that particular person ke saath aisa na ho and this and that. Okay. I also sometimes get mesmerized on this. Because religion is, you can't rationalize your belief. You know, you cannot rationalize it. Sometimes I see something in my dreams and that comes true. And in different communities, in different religions, we do have these instances in our lives. Okay, and then you start feeling something. Are you understanding? So for Taylor, religion has, and he has investigated, examined it from an intellectual anthropology. Okay, you can write down this point. The evolutionist. I would say though R.R. Marrett is also explaining that how religion has evolved. So his theory is also overlapping with psychological and emotional understanding of religion. So my relation with God only I will decide. Who are you to decide? So there are, the Maulanas, the priest of every community would say that you will go to heaven, you will go to, hell. Who are you to decide that? Did you talk to God directly? Have you ever seen? The point here is do good with people around you. We do and do always good first of all with you. No one is going to come and protect you. Right? And now the life is difficult. Life is full of challenges. Life is full of dichotomous people. You know, two faces people. What you will do? On my face, you are being nice. So what God knows, you don't know. Now it's always a feeling. I always feel that, protect me from evil people around me. I do not know them. I don't question them because I feel that every human is a manifestation of God creation. You have been created by God. I have been created by God. Who am I to say anything wrong? I can fight. That's a different story because if you not fight, you are going to be suppressed. So merit is, I think, making a sense. It's a emotional connection with God. So he highlights that religion is rooted in human experience, not just abstract reasoning. Write down this line. Rooted in human experience. आपको जैसे एक्सपीरियंस होगा वैसे आप भगवान को समझोगे. So you can say that Taylor overemphasizes on emotional, on rationality. He introduces human emotions and experiences. But the major criticism is that though he is talking about emotions, humans' experiences, it is still evolutionary. And later thinkers like Immanuel Durkheim has developed the idea of religion as collective experience. As a collective experience. Is this now clear? Any doubt on this? It's just a line. It's from original myth. Okay, just simply saying that it is just not intellect. You just understand that it was just a from original line. Okay, so I've just taken it from those one line where it is explaining that we just have to understand religion out of emotions. Okay. Definitely. He's saying it's a feeling. Religion is about a feeling. Have you got the PPT on religion? No, criticism it's unilinear, but it's a feeling. It's a feeling, okay? It is unilinear though. He's an evolutionist only. Animism, mana, and animism. evolutionary approach. So Marrett was a British ethnologist, okay, proponent of the British evolutionary school. Okay, he modified Taylor's animistic theory to include the concept of mana. So anthropologists who studied religion who adopted an evolutionary approach. So for him, the first form of religion was a, you please write on this line. Okay, I want all of you to write on this two paragraphs in your notes only. Value addition from PPT. You people have to at least 10 minutes write all the points. Written? Both points? So Marrett was like Taylor, an early, uh, evolutionist. So he said that the first form of religion was a belief in ever-present and ubiquitous force, that is mana, the supernatural force, okay, that gave power to all elements of life, called animism. Okay, so mana is, please now write down. Mana is a term used in Polynesia and Melanesia to describe the supernatural forces involved in ritual. Marrett argued, right? Keep writing. Marrett argued that supernatural, spiritual, and religious beliefs emerge when human beings are overwhelmed by the absolute power of nature. That is the feeling of awe. Okay, that I've already explained. I have given all the explanation to all of you. No, mana is what? It's a supernatural force. Okay, so when you experience any supernatural force, that's a feeling. Feeling is awe. That is the English, right? Word, awe. Okay, please write down this. So mana is a term used in Polynesia and Melanesia to describe the supernatural forces involved in ritual. Marrett argued that supernatural, spiritual, and religious belief emerge when human beings are overwhelmed by the absolute power of nature. So write down this, okay, quickly.